You know that feeling like at the very end of the month when you finally open your banking app?
Oh, yeah. The dread.
Right. You look at the balance
It,
and you just experience this sudden sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach.
it's the worst.
It really is. It's that exact moment where you're staring at those glowing numbers on your screen and you just think, I mean, I work 50 hours a week this month.
Yeah.
I skipped lunch like twice to meet deadlines. Where on earth did all that effort actually go?
Right.
Because it just feels like the money completely evaporated into thin air.
Well, it's an incredibly common, honestly, almost universal experience. It's basically this cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance, how do you mean?
So you know exactly how much physical and mental energy you expended to earn your income, right?
Yeah, you feel it in your bones.
Exactly. But then that effort is juxtaposed against a checking account that reflects absolutely none of it.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, it literally feels like a magic trick performed entirely in reverse.
Oh.
You put the rabbit into the hat, and when you reach in to pull it out, there's just empty space.
That is exactly what it feels like. And, you know, that universal feeling of financial evaporation, it isn't an accident. It's a symptom.
A huge symptom.
Yeah. And today's deep dive into Chapter 3 of the Millionaire's Mandate, specifically the concept of giving every dollar a mission, reveals the ground-level difference between people who constantly wonder where their money went and millionaires who, you know, tell their money exactly where to go.
Which is such a massive shift.
It really is.
Yeah.
We are unpacking the ultimate shift from total financial confusion to absolute control.
And, you know, the most crucial takeaway to establish right up front for you listening is that the difference in wealth building isn't actually about income.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I mean, that is a massive misconception. People think, oh, if I just made more money. But you can out-earn bad money habits for a little while, sure. But eventually, the math always catches up with you. So the difference is entirely about management and intention.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because that is a massive paradigm shift.
It is.
We're conditioned to think that the solution to feeling broke is always, you know, just make more money, get a raise, get a side hustle.
Right. Work harder.
Yeah. But the argument here is that money without direction simply disappears, whereas money with direction creates wealth.
Exactly.
Like you could be pulling in $500,000 a year, but if you don't give those dollars a specific direction, you are still going to experience that exact same sinking feeling at the end of the month.
And we see that constantly in the real world. I mean, high-income earners who are literally living paycheck to paycheck.
It's crazy to think about, but it's so true.
They work tirelessly for their money, but they never actually assign it a purpose once it hits their account.
So they just kind of wing it.
Pretty much. The average behavior is to spend first, address whatever fire is burning brightest in that exact moment, and then try to think about the long-term consequences later.
Which is usually when it's too late.
Right. And the direct result of that behavior is that compound interest never actually gets a chance to work. Savings remain completely negligible.
And you just have that low-grade background hum of financial anxiety all the time.
Yes. It just continues indefinitely. It's essentially a closed loop.
So to break that loop, we have to fundamentally change how we view the money sitting in our accounts. We really have to move from an emotional spending first mindset to a truly wealthy mindset.
Which requires a whole new framework.
Yeah, and there's this brilliant phrase central to this concept in the text. It's just 3 words. Money must perform.
I love that phrase. It is the ultimate filter.
How so?
Well, most people treat money emotionally almost like a toy.
A toy.
Yeah, like it's viewed as a reward for hard work. It's something you play with, something that buys immediate, fleeting gratification just to offset the stress of earning it in the first place.
Oh, like retail therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But a wealthy mindset treats money strategically. It is viewed strictly as a tool.
Right.
And a tool is designed to produce very specific, measurable results.
Okay, I want to try an analogy here. Think about it like running a business.
Okay, let's hear it.
Imagine you decide to start a company, right? You rent this massive warehouse. You hire 100 employees. You bring them all into the building. And then you give them absolutely 0 instructions.
Just total chaos.
Total chaos.
Yes.
No job titles, no goals, no key performance indicators whatsoever. You just leave the building and hope they figure it out on their own.
Which is a terrible business plan.
Right. And then a month later, you come back and you're absolutely shocked. Shocked. When you find out the business is failing, all the inventory is missing, and literally nothing got done.
But that is exactly how most of us treat our bank accounts.
Exactly. We have all these little dollar bill employees just sitting around the warehouse with no job description,
Yeah.
and we wonder why they leave us to go work for someone else's company.
It's such a good way to look at it. If we connect this to the bigger picture, choosing to assign money intentionally, like giving those employees a very specific job description rather than just spending randomly, that is the ultimate shift from confusion to clarity.
And clarity is everything.
It is, because clarity is what creates control. And when you have control, you are no longer just a victim of circumstances, waiting to see what the economy does or what unexpected bill pops up.
You actually have a choice.
You have a choice. Spend randomly and create chaos, or assign intentionally and build an architecture for your life.
Okay, so if I decide to finally fire my aimless dollar employees and rehire them with actual job titles, what departments am I actually building?
Good question.
Like if I'm designing this financial company from scratch, where do these employees need to go? Which brings us to the actual mechanics of allocation.
Right, the 4 distinct wealth buckets.
Yeah, the 4 buckets. But before we get into them, is there a rule for how to fill them?
Yes, there's a hard and fast mechanical rule that governs all of them. And it's simple. Assign before you spend.
Assign before you spend.
You have to give the dollar its job before you ever set foot inside a store or open an online shopping app.
Which is the exact opposite of what most of us do.
Completely. The standard habit is to just spend throughout the month and kind of hope, cross your fingers that a few straggling dollars remain on the 30th to put into savings.
Spoiler alert, they never do.
They never do. The wealthy allocate on the first of the month. They only spend what is left after the allocation is complete.
It's completely flipping the timeline of how money moves.
Exactly.
So let's look at these 4 departments or buckets. The first bucket the book talks about is protection.
The baseline.
Right. This is the foundation. We're talking emergency funds, insurance premiums, cash reserves. This money is entirely focused on protecting your baseline.
It's literally the moat around your castle.
I love that visual.
And honestly, the psychological value of the protection bucket far outweighs the monetary value.
Really? Why is that?
Because without it, your entire financial life is built on a glass floor.
Oh, wow.
One single unexpected medical bill or a sudden layoff or even just a major car repair, and that can shatter the foundation.
And then you're spiraling into high-interest credit card debt.
Right. But the protection bucket ensures that an emergency is just a mild inconvenience, not a life-altering crisis.
It changes the entire psychological experience of living. Just knowing that moat is there removes that daily panic.
It really does.
So then we move to the second bucket, which is growth. And this is money that gets directed into assets specifically designed to increase in value over time.
Right. This is the heavy machinery of your wealth.
Heavy machinery, okay.
This bucket ensures your money is actually out there working for you, multiplying while you sleep. And the defining characteristic of the growth bucket is that it relies heavily on time and patience.
So this isn't get-rich-quick money.
Not at all. You are locking this capital away into vehicles like index funds or retirement accounts that will compound over decades. It's completely separate from your daily cash flow.
Okay, which brings us to the third bucket, opportunity.
Yes.
And here is where I actually need to push back a little bit on behalf of the listener.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because the concept defines this as money available for, like, future investments, distressed businesses, or sudden chances that just appear out of nowhere.
Correct.
But wait, how is the opportunity bucket actually any different from the growth bucket?
I see where you're going with this.
I mean, if the goal of both is to make more money, aren't they functionally the exact same thing? Why separate them into 2 different departments?
It's a really vital distinction, actually, and confusing the two is a very common trap.
Okay, explain it to me.
The difference really comes down to liquidity and agility.
Liquidity.
Right. Growth is your steady, predictable engine. It's tied up in assets that you cannot easily or cheaply liquidate. Think retirement accounts where you'd have withdrawal penalties or physical real estate.
Right, you can't just sell a house in an afternoon.
Exactly. You cannot access that money on a random Tuesday afternoon without a ton of friction. Opportunity, on the other hand, is your liquid strike capital.
Strike capital. That sounds intense.
It is. It is cash or highly liquid equivalents, just sitting in reserve, fully prepared to deploy at a moment's notice.
Okay. So if, like, a 2008-style market crash happens and suddenly everything is on sale for pennies on the dollar.
Precisely the scenario. If all your money is locked up in long-term growth, You just have to sit there and watch your portfolio's paper value drop.
You can't do anything about it.
Right, you can't take advantage of the fire sale. Or imagine a local business goes up for sale at a steep discount, or a once-in-a-lifetime real estate deal crosses your desk just because a seller is highly motivated.
You need cash for that.
Yes. If your capital is entirely depleted by your lifestyle bucket, or it's trapped in the growth bucket, you just miss out.
Wow.
So the opportunity bucket is money specifically assigned the job of waiting. It waits for a high-leverage, asymmetrical moment. It basically allows you to manufacture your own luck.
Agile strike capital.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that completely changes how you look at cash just sitting in a bank account. It's not idle. Its actual job is to wait.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. And finally, we have the fourth bucket, which is lifestyle.
The fun one.
Yeah, this is the money used to actually enjoy your life, travel, go out to dinner, buy clothes, the money that makes the present moment worthwhile.
And the key mechanic here is that every single dollar that enters your life belongs in one of these four buckets.
No exceptions.
No exceptions. There's no ambiguous fifth bucket called miscellaneous.
Right, because miscellaneous just means missing.
Exactly. If you imagine two people earning the exact same income, say $100,000 a year, the first person spends freely, buys whatever catches their eye, and saves whatever happens to be left over, which is usually nothing.
The classic trap.
Right. The second person allocates every single dollar into protection, growth, opportunity, and lifestyle the very moment the paycheck hits.
So before they even spend a dime.
Yes. 5 years later, the mathematical gap between those two people is staggering.
I can imagine.
The second person has a reinforced moat, compounding assets, dry powder for investments, and they still enjoyed their life.
And the income was identical.
Identical. The difference was entirely the architecture of their intention.
Okay, logically, this is an airtight system. Protection, growth, opportunity, lifestyle. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
But we have to address the massive psychological barrier here.
Oh, definitely.
Because if this is so logically sound, why don't people do it? I feel like there is this deeply ingrained belief that budgeting or assigning every dollar a hyper-specific job is just a form of self-punishment.
People hate the word budget.
They do. People hear this and they think it sounds like putting their life into a financial straitjacket.
Yeah, it's known as the paradox of budgeting.
Paradox of budgeting.
Yeah, the average mindset views a budget as a mechanism of restriction. They believe it kills spontaneity, it removes freedom. But the millionaire mindset understands the exact opposite.
Which is?
True freedom is impossible without boundaries.
Oh, that's good.
Think about it. When you have no idea where your money is going, every single purchase carries a shadow of uncertainty.
It really does. You buy something nice, but in the back of your head, you're wondering, like, should this money have gone to the electric bill or my retirement?
Exactly. And that uncertainty breeds a constant, exhausting financial anxiety. But when you allocate in advance, that anxiety completely vanishes.
It's true. But man, the friction of modern spending makes that anxiety so much worse.
Oh, completely.
We are living in an era of totally frictionless transactions. I mean, you don't even have to pull out a physical credit card anymore.
Nope.
You just double tap the side of your phone, the screen recognizes your face, and bam, the money is gone.
It takes 2 seconds.
Society is meticulously engineered to make our money leave our accounts before any conscious, rational thought can even intervene.
Frictionless spending is the natural enemy of intention.
Yes.
To combat this, the wealthiest individuals employ a psychological circuit breaker. It's called the millionaire pause.
The millionaire pause. I like the sound of that. What is it?
Before making an unallocated purchase, they forcefully introduce friction back into the process by asking 3 specific questions. Does this improve my future? Does this align with my overarching goals? And crucially, does this specific purchase deserve a mission?
Okay, let me stop you right there.
Uh-oh.
Because this sounds great in a textbook, but let's talk about reality. I have to play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
Let's say I'm standing in line at a coffee shop or I'm just walking through a grocery store.
Yeah.
Am I really supposed to run a 3-part philosophical interrogation on myself for a $6 latte?
Right.
Like asking, does this improve my future? Before buying a pastry just sounds completely exhausting. Doesn't this level of hypervigilance completely ruin the joy of just living a normal life?
If you had to perform that interrogation for every minor transaction, yes, it would be literal psychological torture.
All right, I'd go crazy.
But that misunderstands how the buckets actually function in reality. The goal of this philosophy is intentional enjoyment, not monk-like deprivation.
Okay, so how does the coffee fit in?
If you want that spontaneous coffee or you want to buy that pastry, that is perfectly fine, provided it is being funded by your lifestyle bucket.
Wow.
You don't need to ask if a latte improves your future if the money paying for it was already explicitly assigned the job of bringing you joy in the present.
Okay, so I don't need to be checking a spreadsheet while I'm holding up the line at the register.
Not at all. You just need to know that your lifestyle bucket has capital in it. If it does, spend it guilt-free. Its entire mission is to be spent on your enjoyment. The pause is only necessary when you are tempted to pull money outside of your allocated lifestyle budget.
So it's for when I'm reaching into the wrong bucket.
Exactly. It's the circuit breaker for when you are about to dip into money that should be going toward protection or growth just to satisfy a fleeting impulse.
That makes a lot more sense. It's not saying no to the coffee, it's ensuring the coffee isn't secretly cannibalizing your emergency fund.
Right. And, this raises an important question about how our culture views discipline.
How so?
We are conditioned to view discipline as a deprivation of joy. We think sticking to a plan means we are being punished.
Yeah, nobody wants to be disciplined.
But discipline is actually the mechanism that creates permission.
Wow, say that again.
Discipline creates permission. A properly structured allocation isn't telling you that you can't spend money. It is giving you absolute guilt-free permission to spend money on the things that actually matter to you because you know your future is already secured.
Discipline creates permission. I really, really like that framing.
It changes everything.
It does. But let's take that a step further into the real world.
Okay.
Even with the right mindset, right? Even with the 4 buckets perfectly mapped out on a whiteboard, human emotion is incredibly volatile.
Absolutely.
Let's be real. The millionaire pause can and will fail. You have a terrible week, you're running on 4 hours of sleep, your defenses are down, and then, boom, an incredibly targeted ad for a vacation pops up on your feed.
We've all been there.
The pause just evaporates. So how do the wealthy guarantee they don't self-sabotage when human nature inevitably takes the wheel?
Well, they acknowledge that willpower is an unreliable resource. So they remove the human element from the equation entirely.
By doing what?
They rely on systems. The average person tries to use willpower to resist spending for 30 days, hoping to save the leftovers.
Which we know doesn't work.
Right. But the wealthy create automated routing. They set up automatic transfers that trigger the exact moment their paycheck clears.
So they don't even see it.
Exactly. The money for protection, growth, and opportunity is siphoned off into separate, harder-to-access accounts before they even wake up on payday.
Because systems outperform willpower. Every single time.
Every time.
I like to think of willpower like the battery in your smartphone.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Right. Like you wake up in the morning and the battery is at 100%. You have the resolve to stick to your budget. You feel great.
You're ready to take on the world.
But then you commute. In terrible traffic, battery drops to 80%.
Yep.
You deal with a frustrating client at work, battery drops to 50%. You are bombarded by 1,000 micro-advertisements designed by actual neuroscientists to make you crave things.
Yeah.
Battery drops to 10%.
And then it's evening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By 8 p.m., you are running on 1% willpower.
Yeah.
If you have to make a financial decision in that state, you are going to make an emotional, comforting decision, not a strategic one.
You're going to order takeout and buy something online.
Exactly.
But a system, on the other hand, is like plugging that phone directly into the wall.
Oh, nice.
It operates completely independently of your emotional state, your stress levels, or your exhaustion. It just executes.
It just works.
Yeah. By automating the allocation into your buckets, you are taking your own flawed, emotional, human nature completely out of the supply chain. You don't have to choose to be disciplined every single day. You only have to choose to be disciplined once when you set up the automation.
That is the ultimate life hack. You make the right decision once, and the system repeats it infinitely.
And this automation acts as the final, ruthless filter to ensure every single dollar answers the ultimate question. What is my purpose?
Right.
If a dollar enters your ecosystem and it isn't automatically routed to strengthen your protection, accelerate your growth, build your opportunity, or fund your lifestyle, then what is it doing?
It's just floating.
If it strengthens none of those 4 pillars, it is quite literally a wasted resource.
If a dollar cannot answer what its purpose is, it does not belong there. I mean, that is an incredibly clarifying lens to look through. You are no longer letting money just drift aimlessly through your life. You are giving it hyper-specific, marching orders.
And it removes the concept of luck from personal finance.
Luck.
Yeah. So many people believe wealth is just a byproduct of good fortune or timing. But when you automate allocation, you realize it is just the inevitable mathematical result of discipline backed by a system.
That makes total sense.
When you let money drift, the inevitable result is frustration. When you give it a systemized direction, the inevitable result is tangible progress.
So bringing all these mechanics together, the ultimate transformation here is profound. When you master this principle of giving every dollar a mission, the entire power dynamic of your life flips.
Completely flips.
Money ceases to be a mysterious force that dictates your stress levels, and instead becomes a subordinate tool that you wield.
You're in charge.
You fundamentally stop wondering where it went, and you start deciding where it will go. You are no longer just an employee working for a paycheck. You elevate yourself to the role of a fund manager for your own life.
Which is incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
And, once you step into that role of fund manager and get all of your dollar employees assigned to their correct departments, a new challenge actually emerges.
Oh, what's that?
Well, assigning money a mission is only the first phase.
Okay.
The next logical principle in wealth building is protecting that deeply intentional mission from unnecessary risks.
Like what?
Things like market volatility, inflation, liability. But here's the catch. You cannot build a defense for a mission you haven't yet defined.
Which sets up an entirely new layer of strategy.
It does.
And that is something we will definitely have to unpack in a future deep dive. But before we wrap up our exploration of this paradigm shift today, I want to hand it over to you for one final thought.
Sure. The underlying philosophy of this chapter is that our money is not just currency. It is a physical manifestation of our priorities.
Yep.
So I want to leave you with this thought to mull over. If a complete stranger were to look at a highly detailed, unfiltered list of exactly where every single dollar of your money went last month, what would they assume your actual life's mission is, regardless of what you claim it to be?
Oh, wow. That is a brilliant and, frankly, somewhat intimidating question to ask yourself. The math really never lies about our priorities. Take that question, evaluate those 4 buckets, and start giving your money a mission. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.